my age is in a rush, but nobody can explain what we're even rushing towards. It's crazy, actually. Where my self-value was based off of whether or not I was in a relationship or not, or whether or not how many hoes I could talk to, or whether or not, I could pull that girl even though she in a relationship. Now I'm sitting here going through these relationships, going through these trials and tribulations, talking to these people, and sometimes I felt like I was worse off than where I was before I even talked to these people. You just be left with fucking trauma after you done talking to these people in this generation. It's kind of crazy that, like, if you're not, like, talking to nobody, or you're not, like, getting hoes, or you're not going to a party for hoes, or whatever the fuck, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You feel me? It's so weird that everybody kind of craves attention and value, but nobody knows how to give it. Nobody knows how to give it to you, or I know how to give it to somebody else. It feels like now everything kind of feels forced, that damn, if I'm not in a relationship, or damn, I'm still single while everybody else is out there chasing hoes, what the fuck am I doing? You feel me? I used to base so much on my value, whether or not if I can get this person or not. It was really sad, actually. And if I didn't, I felt like there was something wrong with me. I used to really sit there and be like, damn, I didn't get this person. Damn, did I just waste my time? Or damn, did I do something wrong? I used to sit there and deadass change my personality, change it to mold it for someone else, even though they didn't even like me already. They already had their mind made up. They just liked the attention. They liked what I could provide to them. And it's crazy that sitting there, I used to romanticize being in a relationship so bad until I got it. And I felt like there was something still missing. I felt like there was just something gone. And yeah, me and her, we separated, and it was like, I don't hate her. I don't have no, like, hate towards her. There's still love, but it's like there's not really much of a respect thing. It was toxic. I felt like there was times where, damn, am I being used? Damn, this person only want to talk to me if I have something. And this can go for relationships and friendships too, or family ships. I had to sit there and really watch my back, and I didn't realize there was times I was being manipulated or taken advantage of. You come back home, you sitting there feeling fucking drained as shit from this person. Is this person feeding your tank? Are they putting gas in your tank? They just driving that bitch out till you want an empty tank, you want to eat. And that shit used to have me sitting there like, damn, what else can I do? What can I do to please this fucking person? Because I am technically a retired people pleaser. Sometimes I feel like I get back in that mode where, it kind of comes out subconsciously from how I was brung up. I was told not to say anything. Like, anytime I had an opposing opinion, let's say that, it was overlooked, or I was called disrespectful. And I'm just sitting there like, yo, hey mom, why can we not talk about certain things? Why can we not? I have to be on, it's either her way or the fucking highway. And it made me kind of have to sit here, since moving out and being out of a toxic household, I had to sit here and like unlearn every single thing. And it's crazy, because I'm sitting here now, I'm thinking like, damn, did I do something wrong? Is there like something wrong with me? And I want to say, like, it's really hard now being 18, graduated. You have all this freedom, all this time now. What are you going to fill your time up with? And people are now going to tell you which way you should take, which lane you should do, this and that. What sounds good, but is it what you really want to do? Does it give you purpose? It's not giving me purpose. Being an insurance provider, yeah, there's money to it. But nigga, I want to make videos. Some people are going to look at it and be like, are you crazy? What the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you give up like a white collar job to make videos? Because it doesn't serve me purpose. It's hard to sell something I don't believe in. It's hard to live a life that I don't believe in, or I don't even like college. I did a semester and I realized it was just not for me. Maybe the environment, but I realized I was going there for the wrong reasons. I was going there for like the bitches, the hoes, the whatever the fuck. And then when I go there, there's not even that. So it really had me sitting there challenging myself to be like, why did I even come here? And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's just a bonus thing. I'm trying to convince myself that's not the only reason. But that was like a crazy, like, I want to say a motivational factor on why I really went to college. And then when I went there and it was a PWI, I'm realizing, damn, I feel like I'm so out of place here. I'm feeling like I'm crazy. I'm going to tell y'all a story. First day I went there, she ain't even really asked you how the fuck you're doing. She like, take out your books. She already expecting you to have your composition, your pencil. I'm thinking she's going to tell you what you need. No, we took 3 tests the same day. Damn, I'm tired of learning, bro. I'm tired of learning bullshit. I'm tired of learning bullshit. This shit isn't gonna teach me how to do my taxes. This shit isn't gonna teach me how to 401k or whatever the fuck. This shit isn't gonna teach me how to make money. This is gonna teach me how to work for a job. And that's what she quoted. She was saying, damn, this is gonna teach you on how to get a good job and stuff like this. Job, like the thing where you gotta exchange all your time for a monetary value that has to go straight to bills. And my biggest fear, instead of fucking dying, I know dying is gonna happen either way. Dying, living a life that I didn't want. Living a life, I'm on my deathbed, I'm like, damn, I didn't even do the thing I wanted to do. I was scared of what people were gonna think of me, so that's why I put my dreams to the side to list someone else's. And a job for me is, I wanna be an entrepreneur, but working a job, I realized I'm working on someone else's dream instead of mine. And that shit is like kind of soul crushing. And being an entrepreneur and being able to, there's days where you're going to be making almost the same amount of money in a day than your paycheck. You kind of sit there and realize, you're like, damn, what am I doing here? You're going to feel out of place. I know there was times I have worked 3 jobs since I was 18, and damn, even my managers are still struggling to pay their bills. What's the point? How can a teacher teach me financial literacy and all my teachers have to work a second job or a third job or have to do side gigs? And how are you going to teach me financial literacy and you're struggling yourself? It feels like you're in a nutshell. And now they're finally adding financial literacy. At my senior year, that's when all the 9th graders that are upcoming, they're having to finally do financial literacy. How? If y'all are struggling yourselves? This doesn't make any sense to me. It's so crazy that we're supposed to know what we want to do or figure out life just like that and just keep doing it just to live to work. I don't want to live to work. I want to live for a purpose. I want to work to live. And my dad comes up to me. He's like, Eva, most adults, 80% of their life is spent working. I sit there having that like statistic. I'm like, you're right. People are working. Some people beg for a 40-hour work week, and some people are working 80 hours a week, and they're still struggling. How is this system so messed up, but we're still just living in it? We blame rich people. We can blame all these fucking people, but these rich people are not living our lives. Only we are. So how can we just put all the accountability on those people because they figure out a way to make money? Why, instead of you hating on them, why not try to learn from them? And I was going to college, then I had to work on top of that, then try to figure out how to make money off of my business, then be a content creator. I had my ducks all in like 500 baskets, and mind you, I had to do tutoring, and then I have acting classes. And man, is this what my life is going to be considered? Doing just a bunch of bullshit that I didn't want to do? And now college is starting to become less relevant in today's society with AI taking over. Why not am I learning the shit I need to learn for my life? Because I don't want to stop learning, but I actually want to learn the shit that actually makes sense. I'm taking a class for understanding art, and all it is about a bunch of niggas' opinions on ancient old art. And I'm sitting here like, how in the possible fuckity fuck do you know exactly what's going through that person's mind 8,000 years ago? When people back then used to think the world was so fucking flat. They were so sure the world was flat. There's niggas now that still think the world is flat, but how are you so sure? And then, mind you, we're looking at art for an hour and we're just listening to her talk about her opinions because none of it is actually factual. Art is so subjective. So it's just like, what am I learning here? I'm learning theater history and like bullshit. Mind you, being like the second black person in the class, and then we have to like watch these old movies. like from 1980s, and the movies were like so racist, but you gotta kind of ignore it, right? We've been learning about racism since we were like 5, 6 years old. And then it gets to a point where, okay, he's gonna start talking about how he works harder. This white man is working harder than a nigger in a slave field. And then I'm supposed to sit here and ignore it. And the whole assignment was about which person was the most broken. Are we not going to talk about like the racism that is, you get so sick of ignoring and putting everything to the side for other people. Why not talk about that? Or will I become a problem? Will I become an issue for talking about the things that actually matter to me? It may not matter to you because you're not living my life. You're not living in the black skin. You're not living this life. You're not living the life of me being a lesbian. And some people think that I'm being inhuman or immoral or whatever the fuck it is. It's kind of crazy to really sit here and think about the amount of times that some people have doubted me or underestimated me, or called me stupid or called me crazy for having a dream that was different, that wasn't traditional, that wasn't me wanting to be a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse. I'm like, okay, well, everybody else is doing that. I want to do something that gives me a sense of purpose, a sense of hope. And I'm gonna give y'all a little story. I went to my therapist's office. Mind you, I only met up with her about 3 times, right? So our third session, I started realizing that our sessions are progressively shorter and shorter and shorter. This time I come on time, right? Because my session starts at 3. I come there maybe like 2:57, clock in, go to the desk. She comes out around 3:10, 3:15, literally like 3:10. She talks to me for a little bit. She slaps a bunch of papers in my face talking about sometimes we go through these fight or flight things and depression and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is necessarily avoidable. I don't think I will ever really live a life where sometimes I won't get those feelings or I won't get a negative feeling, quote unquote. We're human, It just didn't make sense to me that, we were trying to work through things, but, she slapped a couple papers in front of me and then she walked me out, and I was only there for 20 minutes and she was barely even listening. She is so worried about her own life that she couldn't focus on her job. And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, you come out late and I leave early and I didn't even work through shit. It's like you're almost sitting there thinking to yourself, what am I paying you for if you seem like you might need a therapist yourself? I don't understand, why is there such a big thing of there's a right and wrong way to live life? I think the things that you do make you the person that you are, but also it gives you the consequences. When I say consequences, I don't mean that it's going to be a bad thing that always happens. Sometimes you're going to make videos and either one of them bitches might blow up. That might be your consequence. Sometimes consequences are good and sometimes they're bad. And I think we all strive, 99% of the people strive to be rich, but people don't understand what it takes to get there. You think you selling that one item, you're going to automatically get a sale. No, you got to work for it a lot of times. And it's kind of scary, even just sitting here talking to you guys about life and what it's like to be just 18 and having this freedom. I'm learning now that the internet is not even real. People are just posting their highlight reels. People are talking about, oh, I just made 100K this month. You want to learn how to make 100K? Buy my course. Buy my coaching. Buy this, buy that, buy this. We're just posting highlight reels on social media, and then we're comparing ourselves to something that's not even authentic. Sometimes I post my highlight reels, and the whole time, as soon as I post that bitch, I close the app and I'm sitting there crying about my actual life. I'm crying about some real shit, but you don't see me posting it on social media because, that's not what it was really, that's what you don't want people to see. You don't want people to see you weak when everybody gets a sense of weakness. I asked so many questions. I was a student to ask a lot of questions in school. I didn't just sit there and just take whatever you was giving me. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Why is it always just a paper? When do we see a goddamn picture of something? We're learning algebra and shit like that, but we're not learning how to file taxes and try to get tax write-offs and shit. You gotta pay money. You gotta pay extra money for that shit and go to college for it. But now they're making you take all the extra classes that don't even got shit to do with your major. Then I switched to my major. I'm trying to do digital media. There's not a single fucking job in sight for this degree. So I'm like, what am I doing this shit for? Why is there a degree on this? Why is there a degree on that if there's not a single job in sight? You gotta make the job. You should be the job. Don't let the job fool you into thinking, damn, maybe I gotta work harder. Maybe, unless you want to work up into the business, into the corporate world, and if that's you, by all means, get at it. But if you are an entrepreneur or a creative that wants to build something for yourself, stop depending on people to give you that damn paycheck. Find a way to make some money. Make people depend on you. That's my biggest thing. Make people depend on you. This life is so short, but yet it's so long at the same time. And I think the biggest thing is that we compare ourselves so much. And then we're like, damn, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Then you get into this big old frenzy of switching in and out of the things that you originally wanted to do because it got hard. No matter what you do, it's not going to be easy. Whether or not it's wanting to be a doctor or be an entrepreneur or a content creator. The shit is not easy no matter what. So why not do the thing that you actually love? Why not? Why live a life because you're afraid of being judged when people are going to judge you either way? Whether or not you're trying to change yourself or not. Why? People are going to judge you either way. So why not just live the life you actually want? Some people judge you while you're just sitting down, or some people judge you off the base of your clothes. Sometimes people even judge you for wearing designer. You cannot escape judgment in this world. People are going to judge me from dressing masculine or wearing too much fucking cream or even having a nose piercing. I kid you not. There was times I was learning and I was trying to study for my friend at Barnes & Noble's, and this old man rolls up in his wheelchair telling me, why are you wearing that metal in your nose? You can't get a good job with wearing that metal in your nose. I swear to God, I wish I was playing. He may have not said it exactly like that, but that's damn near what technically that's what he said, but he was speaking about all this shit, and he's like, okay, what do you want to do? Why don't you get a marketing job? A lot of females can do that and all this shit. I'm like, that's not my life. And it's so easy to get wrapped up into people's opinions that to the point where you lose yourself. You lose why you did this thing in the first place because you're scared of the judgment and scared of the people's opinions. The most successful people are the ones that are the most hated on. I can tell you DDG, fucking Donald Trump, like these niggas right here, not everybody like them, but there's people that still like them somehow, you know what I'm saying? So are you going to find your people, find your crowd, or are you just going to sit there and stay stagnant, scared, and then end up becoming not the person you always wanted to be? I don't want to say you're not going to become you're going to be a nobody, but I want you to be somebody. I want you to be somebody. I want you to live the life you want. It's so easy to hate on other people because you don't got what it takes to live that life. You don't got what it takes. It's scary, it's cringy, it's corny, but who gives a fuck, honestly? It's corny till it works. People will tell me all the time my shit is corny, or I post too much, or I do this or that. But it works though. The videos blow though. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I put so much time into what I do. I don't give a fuck about what anybody else think because they're trying to drag me down to their level because they can't do what I do. Why are you trying to give me advice on how to make videos and you haven't even made one? You have a private account. You don't even have a post. How are you going to give me advice? I've made over 3,000 TikToks in my life and I'm ready to make 3,001. How the fuck are you going to give me advice and you're not even in the same field as me? You're not even playing the same game as me. You're playing soccer and I'm trying to play football. How are you gonna give me advice on some shit and that's not even what you're trying to do? That's the craziest thing, is especially being a female, a lot of males, they will try to give you unsolicited advice and be loud and fucking wrong. Loud and fucking wrong. You go take their advice because you're trying to be an open mind, because I'm an open-minded person. But I remember telling my teacher, because he was looking at me like I was slow, like all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a math teacher. Like, we have fun and stuff, but it gets to a point where you go in class and every time you ask a question, he's like minimalizing you and downplaying your thoughts and your opinions and always trying to argue with you on them or trying to change how you think. And he's like, why won't you take this advice, or why won't you do this? Because I said, if I took everybody's advice, I'll be a walking contradiction. And he said, oh, well, that makes sense. Well, obviously, I'm not going to take advice if it doesn't serve me. I asked him, I was like, why would you go do things that you don't really want to do? Because you're going to have to sometimes do that. You're right. But I don't want to live my life where I'm doing things I don't even want to do. You're living a life you don't even want. Why would I take advice from someone that's living a life that I don't want? I can learn some things from you, but I can't learn everything from you. And that's where it has to be left off at. And the thing is, I'm not going to argue with you niggas. The fuck do I get out of that? I'm not making no money arguing with you. I'm not making a single dime arguing with you niggas. I'm so far, in my own fucking world, trying to make $1, trying to live this life, trying to live a life for myself, quite honestly. And people are going to come up to me and be like, damn, did you see what happened on the internet? Did you not see what Donald Trump did, or this, or the politicians and all that shit? All that shit is damn near propaganda to me. That shit is there in your face for you to sit there and ask these questions and then forget about it next fucking week. Like, damn near everybody damn near forgot about Diddy. This shit is irrelevant. It's time consuming. You have only so much time on this life, and nothing in this world is guaranteed. You work your job, and as soon as you don't work or you're on an off day, you're not making no money. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. And I feel like that's probably the thing that drives me crazy, is I feel like I'm always wanting more. Like, I'm here for more. How am I doing this? And I look at my paychecks, I'm like, damn, what am I doing? What am I doing? I gotta change it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I feel like this doesn't apply to content. That's the only thing that really doesn't apply to content. But being 18 years old, and it's weird that adults expect you to be smart, but they also look at you like you're dumb at the same time. It's crazy. It's actually insane to me is how they look at you as an adult in certain situations until it benefits them, and then they look at you as a child. Like, I understand, but at the same time, I still have my own thoughts and opinions. And yeah, I may not have lived long enough as you, but we're not living the same life. That's the thing that I feel like a lot of adults need to realize. So you need to stop pushing, oh, you should do this, or you should go out and do that, or I don't want to do that shit. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to do any of that bullshit. I just want to do the shit that brings me purpose and brings me money and just live my life. It's not your life. Why won't you worry about your own kids or worry about the bills that are literally due? You're worrying so much about other people's lives that you're forgetting your own. And that's the thing that blows me the most. I'm not here to sugarcoat. I'm here to be real with you. Even at work, I'm going to be real with you. When y'all be asking me at my job, oh, does this look good with this, or this clothes look good with this? I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm not trying to sell you something you don't fucking want. I want you to be able to make your own mind up and decision. Because some grown-ass adults come to me for me to make them a fucking outfit. I just work here. I just fucking work here at minimum wage job, and you expect me to put an outfit together for you. I'm going to try my best, but when you're like, no, I don't want that, then I ask you, well, what do you want? You tell me I don't know. So you want me to sit here and rip and run for you, and you don't even have a clear idea of what the fuck you want to wear tonight to a club where you're not even going to get no pussy anyways? Just make it make sense. How in the world do you live a life and you don't even know what you want to wear? I feel like some adults is just as lost as some kids. They just try to hide it better. They be like, we don't know what we be talking about, but yet we're the future. We're the future of the generations, you know what I'm saying? We're the future. But then when we start thinking different from y'all, then it's like, what's going on? You're living this fantasy, this reality. We're heading to a digital world, and y'all don't even know how to use it. You don't even know how to use it in your advantage. You're trying so hard to rebel it so much, but y'all don't understand the benefits and the advantages to it. But that's okay. There's going to be probably people that don't like what I'm saying, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not here to please everybody. I'm here to please somebody, myself. It's just, insane to me that like this world is so beautiful, but we forget it because our own problems. We complain about our problems so much, but we don't even try to fix them or try to come up with a different solution. You're complaining about that person, that friend, that girlfriend, that boyfriend, but you don't want to leave them the fuck alone. And then next thing you know, you're posted up with them. Like you weren't just talking about them for a fucking hour about how much shit they do wrong. Sometimes we are our own downfalls. People too. Who you surround yourself with. What's your environment? Some of y'all, I see people have big goals, big dreams, but yet you at the club smoking, drinking down some Don Julio. I had to put accountability with myself. I had to. I used to sit here and smoke all the goddamn time. Like, I'm not no goddamn saint. I'm just human. Nigga, this is just flesh. And then I sat there and calculated up all my expenses because I'm going through some financial troubles. And I'm like, damn, I spent this much amount of money. I haven't spent over $100 a month on weed. And then I'm over here traveling everywhere because my plug is gone and I don't know where the fuck he at. And then I'm getting shorted. Someone trying to charge me a 3.5 for $25, right? And didn't even give me a 3.5. And now looking at him, I'm like, this is not a 3.5. You just gave me like 2 nubs here. And he's like, oh, I just gave you whatever. You feel me? I didn't have enough for a 3.5. So you weren't going to tell me until I peeped it. But we supposed to be friends, right? Alright, and some things about that is like sometimes you peep some shit, like you peep some weird shit, but I'm not gonna go argue with you. I'm not gonna argue you down. I'm not that type of person that I'm gonna go ahead and fucking chase you, no matter who you is. I peep some weird shit and I move accordingly. I used to sit there and chase people, used to have my value so set into people, and you know what it did? Disappoint me and put me in a dark ass place where I'm comparing myself to someone else. I'm comparing myself to other females. I'm comparing myself to other niggas because this bitch wanna fucking go with a nigga or go with some stud or whatever the fuck. I'm like, bro, I am my own person. If you didn't like what I was trying to give you and offer you, honestly, thank you. You were gonna waste my time anyways. You were gonna be a lesson. And it took me so many months to realize that. Some people couldn't be alone with themselves for a week or a day or whatever the fuck. And I used to be one of those people where I used to have extreme FOMO. I'm like, damn, why didn't this person just invite me? Or why are they making plans and didn't even invite me? Why do I gotta always try to invite myself to somewhere? Why do I gotta always ask and put my hand out to go somewhere with somebody when the whole time they don't really want you there with them? But when they see your videos, they're like, oh my God, congrats, Eva, we should do this, we should do that. But bitch, you don't even want to hang out with me if this camera is off. And I'm just saying real shit, because a lot of times people don't want to hear the truth because the truth fucking hurts. And it does. And I used to be one of them people that did not want to hear the truth at all. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not agreeing with me right now? What's going on here? But it's real shit. It is real shit, y'all. I just popped something in my knee, bro. I just realized that people are gonna disappoint you, and it depends on who you're gonna surround yourself with and see who's really genuine and who's rocking with you. You're gonna probably have some niggas around you that don't want you doing better than them. You feel me? There's gonna be times where there's gonna be people around you. They may not say it, but you might feel it in your bones and guts and whatever the fuck. I have been in so many dumb situations because I decided to do substances like drink and smoke, and I'm not even a drinker. I was just trying to fit in with the crowd, and the whole time, you know what that shit did? Made me like sick, sad, and in a fucked up situation. Just had me fucked up. And I'm not here to like tell you to stop doing what you're doing, but I'm just telling you my experience. And the weirdest thing is, I would get this bad feeling in my gut about somebody, and I used to feel guilty for it. I'm like, I don't have no proof on why I feel this way, but there is a reason on why I feel this way. I can't prove it, but there's a reason. And then, you know what happens? I may not always be right, but that intuition was. That intuition was right. And guys, thank you for watching this video, and I think that is it. If you want me to talk about any more topics or my views on the world, please put it down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can do more videos like this for y'all guys. Thank you.